Hi, I'm yllyyao. This is a quick walkthrough of my poster, Distributed Frontal Cortex Activity Encodes Task-Specific Language Recruitment. So as we all know, speech production is a pretty complex process, where it involves multiple regions of the brain. For example, Broca's area plays an important role in speech planning, superior temporal gyrus for auditory perception, and motor region for auditory production. However, it still remains unknown that how different regions are involved across different tasks and modalities. So for our experiment, we employed a battery of 5 tasks with different modalities on 13 ECOG patients. We used the same 50 words in different modalities across 5 tasks. Picture naming is when you see a picture of balloon, you say balloon. Visual word reading is you read the word out from the screen. Auditory word repetition is repeat after the auditory stimuli balloon. Auditory naming is to guess the object based on the description. And auditory sentence completion is fill in the blank of the very last word. For example, the clown inflated the balloon. For time purpose, I'm gonna skip the data processing part, but one thing that needs to mention is we are interested in the bandwidth of 70 Hz to 150 Hz, which is known as high gamma broadband. It's best known for neuropopulation firing. Move on to the results section. In the first part of the section, we average the electrode activity based on their region of interests. On the right side, you see the brain color-coded with 4 regions of interest, and the left side, the average neural activity within each region. For example, in superior temporal gyrus, you hear the word balloon in word repetition task, so there it rises. And you repeat the word balloon during the production period, and you hear yourself speaking, so it rises a little bit as well. However, it remains silent for picture naming and visual reading tasks because they are non-auditory tasks, and so on. We really want to let the data speak for themselves. So in the second part, we use the unsupervised clustering technique to let the data form the clusters based on their neural activity. So the color in the brain here represents the different clusters they belong to. As you see, STG and post-central region show a pretty homogeneous response respectively. However, frontal cortex show a more distributed activity, as you see different colors of electrodes are mingled there. Such distributed pattern in frontal cortex leads us to take a closer look at each single electrode in the region, and from there we lead to the third section, where we did find some electrodes show certain task preferences at different times. So here we use a logistical classification model to find out whether one single electrode is able to classify one task against the rest of the 4. And by looking at the AUCs over time, we can compare and find out at what time the electrode is able to decode a certain task. After we quantified the task decoding ability over a sliding window approach for each electrode, we put their AUC curve over time into a PCA analysis to find whether there's any group clustering patterns. And here, the brain is color-coded in 4 different PCs, marking the electrodes which is active over a certain period of time for certain tasks. So in conclusion, there are 3 take-home messages. First, STG and pericentral regions are mostly homogeneous in auditory and motor responses, as shown in results section 1 and 2. Second, frontal cortex is recruited for both perception, pre-articulatory and articulatory periods, as shown in results section 2. 3. Frontal cortex exhibited task-specific patterns within electrodes. Such task specificity manifests in distributed decoding patterns across frontal cortex with varying recruitment for different time periods and different tasks. This is a quick overview of my poster. Thank you for watching. For more technical details and questions, please come to my booth D54.